Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman with Sharif Abdel-Quddus. On the line with us is Ambassador Ed Peck. He is just back from the Gaza Freedom Flotilla. One of the ships were attacked by Israeli commandos. But first, we're going to turn to another diplomat. Sharif?
Well, yesterday I had a chance to speak with Israel's Deputy Ambassador to the United Nations, Daniel Carmon. I reached him on the phone and questioned him about the raid. Why did Israel attack a boat carrying more than 600 international activists in international waters?
Israel did not attack a boat. Israel enforced a maritime blockade, which is a measure that is totally legal in international law, to enforce a blockade when there is a possibility of a danger emanating from some source. And this was exactly the case. There was a flotilla of so-called real, genuine humanitarian aid to Gaza. And when I'm saying so-called, I mean some of this flotilla was not a genuine, naive humanitarian aid only flotilla, and for this reason and for the danger that emanated from this, our Navy enforced the blockade.
But this was in international waters.
The international law, and I would refer you to international law, when there is a danger, when there are conditions that require this, boarding can be done on a dangerous vessel in international waters too.
Eyewitnesses said commandos came out shooting. The Israeli commandos came out shooting.
Not at all. Not at all. The Israeli Navy, after repeatedly offering a remedy and an alternative for transferring the humanitarian aid to Gaza through the port of Ashdod, the Israeli Navy, for weeks now, after updating the organizers and the relevant governments about our intentions, did exactly what we said we would do. Boarded the ships, and I'm talking about, there were 6 ships, by the way. 5 ships adhered totally to what they were supposed to do, and replied and reacted positively to the communications done by the Israeli Navy. One particular ship, the Marmara, which had on board not humanitarian activists only, but some activists of a very extreme organization called IHH, which had other intentions, had other plans, and the plans were to provoke. And more than this, when the Israeli Navy...
what evidence do you have of those plans? IHH is an organization that works across Turkey and the world.
Yes, and is also connected to terrorism and to Al-Qaeda, and some elements from the people of these organizations, when the Israeli naval soldiers came down to the ship in order to enforce the blockade, after repeated advertisements that were answered by negative or 4-letter words, which I will not repeat here, were attacked, and I think you saw that on TV also.
Well, let me ask you,
by knives, clubs, shooting from live ammunition. One soldier was thrown overboard. You have it all in the media, and the reaction is a very natural reaction, unfortunate result, but a natural reaction of self-defense.
Let me ask you about that video that was released by the Israeli military. Will you release an unedited video of the excerpts that have been playing on the networks?
I'm not aware of what you mean by edited or unedited, but I think you saw that, and it speaks by itself.
And do you know who filmed it?
No, I have no idea.
And why haven't you released the names of the dead? At least 9 were killed. First of all, do you know can you confirm the number of dead?
As much as I know, there are nine dead in this unfortunate incident, some injured, and Israeli soldiers wounded, including 2 gravely wounded.
Well, there are families around the world who are anxiously waiting news. Why have the names of the dead not been released yet?
We would have to check it with the local authorities.
And why is Israel continuing to hold hundreds of international activists? What is their crime?
Any of the participants in this so-called protest, which is much more than just a protest, those who are suspected of trespassing the law, there would be measures that would be applied. All those who don't will be released as soon as possible. We have indicated this from the start of this operation. We have indicated this in the planning stages. We had no intention of doing anything that was problematic. The problems and the confrontation and the violence came from the other side, from those who misuse the disguise of humanitarian aid to do something else, and this something else is the lynch that we saw in this clip, in this horrible clip that we all saw.
Well, the UN Security Council has condemned the raid. What is your response?
I would suggest to read exactly the text of various communications in the last few days. I haven't seen the condemnation is a condemnation of the acts that brought